So we start everyone at our classes with a clipboard. Do you all do clipboards with the Empower Kits? Yeah. So on the top, I have the drawing entry. I accidentally left it at home. So there's the draw entry there, and in the beginning we say just fill out the draw entry because we're going to give away a prize later on. So fill that out and hand it back. You know, and we'll pop it in the bowl or the basket, whatever's going round, right? So when I get up front to present, and imagine you've just been edified, I basically just start with, hi everyone, thanks so much for having me. It's a joy to be here, however I'm feeling at the time. It's usually something like that though.
Fake it till you make it, right?
I'm excited to be here. You know, you say a word that's authentically you. I use joy a lot because I am pretty much in a constant state of joy. So use what works for you. On your laps, you have some clipboards. The front page, scribble on, do whatever you like. This is yours to go home. And it's going to outline everything I do in the class today. You'll see on the back it goes into even more details with the essential oils that we'll be covering. The page underneath has the products that are available here in Australia with doTERRA. And you want to be looking at the bolded out lines here, these prices here in bold, because you'll all end up with your own wholesale account at the end of this, and they're the prices you want to be looking at. At the back of this, you have kits that you can be looking at. And I'm going to show you the best options with that. And the last page is what you're going to be filling out to open up your wholesale account. So we keep it all really easy for you. So just go back to that front page there, and we're going to start with this. On this page here, if you like, you can put little ticks or stars or hearts next to the essential oils we pass around that you really love. And at the end, when you open your wholesale account, we'll help you find the kit and the oils that best serve you.
So just before you get into class there, everyone laughed there, right? This is pretty important. What was the bit that you laughed at? Wholesale account, right? If you've invited properly and they know why they've come to an introductory essential oils workshop, however you've phrased it, our belief and our contention is that they have come there and they are predisposed to enrol before they leave that night, if you've invited properly. So if that's the case, and they have come and they know why they're there and what you're going to be teaching about, what's the problem with saying how you get access to the oils? Who leaves that right to the end? Most people would be my guess, okay? That's the mistake, because everyone's wondering, they're sitting there the whole time distracted by what is the catch, how's it work, what am I in for, what am I actually, how's this all going to come to a close tonight, and what am I going to be up for, and what are they going to try and do to me? What are they going to try and take away from me? Okay, remember, you've got the cookie. It's so critical. This is what we talked about before, okay? You need to stand in your power there. That elephant in the room is going to come out at some point, the whole concept of a wholesale account. And we use language like the most intelligent way to get your oils is at the wholesale price. Who wants to pay retail, right? So what's wrong with saying that early? Now, did you notice that she said it about 3 times within a 1 minute span of time? Okay? And then she went back to the page, but she says it openly and honestly, wholesale account, okay? Because that's what it is, where you can access the oils that you love as and when you wish, right? It's important to get it out early. So this is a technique. It's something that you really ought to do. Get that out early, then you can go on with the class. The rest of the class then, they very soon go into experience mode, which is where the rest of the class takes its journey now. The lids come off the bottles, they're in experience mode, because they already know that there's a wholesale account. And Vanessa actually points to them to say, and as you're going around and you're experiencing the oils, put a little tick or a love heart or a smiley face next to something that resonated with you, that you loved, right? And they find themselves doing that. How hard is it at the end then to say, right, which we'll get to at the end, we'll tell you exactly what to say, rather than confuse you now. But it's important that we want to just cover that off, because what she does there is critical to the success rate of enrolling people at the end of the class. Not just teaching the class and everyone had a good time and go home. Thanks.
I get straight into the oils now. It's the first thing I do. I can't wait to pop them open. In over 20 years of teaching aromatherapy, and using these essential oils for most of my life, I've never come across a more pristine or clean essential oil. I'm going to begin with peppermint. This is one of my all-time favorites. I love working with peppermint because she enlivens me, inspires. I feel awake and clarified when I use an essential oil like this. And as you pass it around, you might want to just look at starting about here and just letting it waft up to your nose because she's powerful. She packs a punch. 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is the equivalent to 28 tea bags of peppermint tea. And I'll also ask you as we pass around these essential oils not to touch the tops of my essential oil bottles. Aside from the fact that I don't want your mankies all over my bottles, Murphy's Law, you touch something like peppermint and then you accidentally itch your eye or itch your nose and it burns. So these essential oils are a certified pure therapeutic grade oil. They're 50 to 70 times stronger than the source from which they come. So less is more, you only need a tiny amount. You want to take care to keep the essential oils away from your eyes, your nasal cavity, your lips, especially something like peppermint or the cinnamon. If you accidentally get it on your lips, you'll feel like Angelina Jolie and you'll be, in a second, they'll be all puffed up. Never put essential oils in your ears. Around your ears is fine. Take care around your pits and your bits. So peppermint isn't one you want to be bathing in. She's a cooling essential oil, so you can put a little drop in a basin or a bowl and immerse a face washer in, for instance, and then just wring that out and place it on the back of your neck to cool you down. You can do a yummy foot bath in that. Yeah, really cool the body. So when you feel like you're reaching fever pitch emotionally and you feel like you're just flying a little bit, you know that temper's rising, take a little whiff of peppermint essential oil. Great for clarifying the mind, bringing us back to the moment. Peppermint helps to clear us. Can you feel that? Those of you that have smelt it. Yeah, did you feel that instant clarity? So can you see how when I speak about the peppermint, I cover a lot of things in a really short period of time? Yeah? For those of you that smelt the oil, could you feel where I was connecting with maybe something you experienced? Yeah? So then I'll also say, and I'm passing essential oils around, you know, I'm getting them out all the time. And I'll say things like, so when you follow the Empower Kit, sorry, when I interrupt myself, I then lose my track. You can literally follow, you'll notice I follow the Empower Kit, exactly. I'm just not holding this up, right? So when you start, you can literally just follow this page here and then choose a few oils here, and it will take you through the essential oils and how to speak to the people about these essential oils.
Tell people it's the class outline. When you at the start, you'll see the class outline on the front that we're going to go through tonight. So when you're referring to your notes and your class outline, that's totally normal, no problem. Yeah. Okay, so it's okay to have it there to check in on as you're gaining experience. Once you're comfortable with it, then you won't need it. You won't pick it up anymore. Okay.
So a beautiful essential oil that blends so beautifully with peppermint is wild orange. This is pure joy in a bottle. It's joy bubbles. And I do that sometimes. Sometimes I get a bit like I'll call it a bubble and not a bottle, and they just giggle. Did you hear how it was no big deal that I made a mistake? Like they got it. And then you just correct yourself and keep going on. Wild orange helps to connect us with that childlike wonder. It's like when you want to hold hands with a child and go for a skip, that's wild orange. It's really hard to keep your grumpy dacks on with wild orange in your life. He's nice and calming, but he uplifts the spirit. Blends beautifully with peppermint, and that's what I've just put in the diffuser now, to uplift and energize the room and help clear your minds a little. End of the day. Yeah, we'll get some clarity going so you can absorb what I'm saying here. Right? And then you just go through the essential oils, and you don't need to tell them every single thing about every single essential oil. I do talk about the Home Essentials Kit essential oils, so that by the end it follows this sequential thing of, and I've covered the, and you'll hear what I say in a minute, but I've covered the oils in the essential oil in the Home Essentials Kit. You don't need to cover every essential oil in that kit. It might be like half a dozen. And by the time you get to, you know, these parts here, where it talks about there are 3 ways to use the essential oils. So when I've said, and this is how we've used it in the diffuser, I've just covered aromatically. Because I've talked about how it clears and clarifies, it's clearing your mind, it's waking you all up, and you all had a giggle. I really did put that in there, by the way, for that reason, right? So, you know, that's how I talk about aromatic use. In a class, I don't get them to put a drop on their hand ever. I never promote the neat application of essential oils. Yep, in my classes, you never know if they rub their eye and they end up burning, or, you know, they might have a sensitivity to it. What I do say is there's 3 ways we use essential oils. We use them aromatically, and this is beautiful. So the diffuser, which comes with the Home Essentials kit, is not only creating a beautiful ambience, it's helping us to get the benefits of these amazing essential oils aromatically. So nothing takes us faster down memory lane than our olfactory senses. And that accesses that ancient part of the brain, the limbic system, which is the emotional control center. And you can make some really powerful aromatic anchors with these essential oils. So a few of you mentioned that you'd love to learn about some essential oils that you can use for peacefulness. So wild orange is one of those. And my signature blend that I love to combine with wild orange is frankincense and lavender. So I'm going to pass the frankincense and lavender around. Now, frankincense is my favorite essential oil of all time. To me, if there was one essential oil, if someone said to me if there was just one essential oil I could get, Vanessa, what would it be? I would say frankincense. To me, he's there as such a strong support for so many things. You combine him with the wild orange and the lavender, and I have to say this is the cleanest lavender I've ever had the pleasure of smelling. Lavender was a bit hit and miss for me. I kind of found it a bit pukey sometimes, yeah? And then I smelt the doTERRA lavender. It's the lavender augustifolis. It's so pristine. It's sourced from high up in the French Alps. And that's something I really love about doTERRA. They only source their essential oils from the indigenous land they're supposed to come from. I love that. I love that we're getting all of that love juice from Mother Earth in these essential oils. And remember, they're 50 to 70 times stronger than the source from which they come. So you only need a little amount. Now, these 3 essential oils I'm using, or I'm passing around for you all, and I'll show you what they smell like together. The lavender, wild orange and frankincense, which you can use for calming, for peacefulness, to uplift the spirit a little. You can use it in your diffuser, or you can use it aromatically. And the way we use it aromatically is in fractionated coconut oil. And this is the carrier oil that we have available for you all with doTERRA. And you place this in a little bowl with some essential oils. And I'm going to show you by the end of this workshop how to do that, how to get that on safely, and you're all going to experience that. Now, it's been fractionated. The medium fatty chains have been gently removed, so it stays liquid. You know, the gorgeous extra virgin coconut oil that we can buy and we all love and use, it solidifies in the winter, whereas this stays liquid. So you can use this on the skin and it's like liquid velvet and absorbs really quickly. And then what I do is I take the 3 essential oils, the lavender, wild orange, and frankincense, and I pass it under their noses. And they then get to experience each essential oil on its own and then together. And what I say is each essential oil is a note. It's literally a note, top, middle, or base note. And when you mix them together, when you combine them, they create a melody or a song. And that song weaves its way into the fabric of your being. And when you put them on your body, it smells differently again. Yeah? Now, these essential oils are also safe to ingest. So that wild orange and that peppermint I passed around earlier, so beautiful to put a drop in a bottle of water. Now, and I show them this, right? You want to really strongly anchor this. When you use essential oils in water, you only use stainless steel or glass. We don't use plastic, because by nature, essential oils draw toxins out, which is fabulous for us, but you don't want to be drinking them and they'll break down the plastic. So just stick to stainless steel or glass.
How many drops is it safe to ingest per day?
So I would suggest, depending on the person, and you're talking an adult?
Yeah, because I just keep refilling up our water or
Yep.
leave it with a couple of drops each time. And
Yeah.
I just want to know.
Yeah, that's fine. So if you've started the day, say, with 2 or 3 drops of lemon oil, and you just keep topping that up. You're not actually redoing 3 drops every time. Is that what you mean? You do put 3 drops every time? You put 2 drops every time. And how many bottles would you have? Yeah. So are you feeling okay with it?
Yeah, but I didn't know that.
Yeah. So again, I'm not a doctor. Yeah. So I don't know exactly what's going to be right for you just from looking at you. But if you feel great and you feel fine, lemon oil is quite mild. It does detox. You know, it's working for you. Yeah. You don't need to overdo it with the essential oils. Like you wouldn't be doing that much of peppermint essential oil, for instance. You'll find that 2 drops of peppermint in a bottle and you keep refilling that bottle and it's enough. Yeah. So it's different for each oil. So then what you're doing is you're going through. Yep, if someone was to ask me that in a class, I'd just say all you need is 1 or 2 drops in your bottle of water. And you just sip that throughout the day. And as you refill it, you can just add a drop to that new bottle. Yeah, that's what I say in a class. Yeah. So as you go through the class, it becomes very experiential. I'm showing them how to use the essential oils and making blends. So when I talk about On Guard, I marry it and I'll follow directly with oregano. And I'll even say, so On Guard for me smells like Christmas in a bottle. And I love the smell of On Guard, and you can diffuse him. You can use him aromatically, especially on the soles of your feet. If you're going to use him on your body, is the safest way, right? So if you're going to use him topically, I would suggest on the soles of the feet. And you can use him with oregano. And I pass the oregano around. And I'll say, oregano's not the sweetest smelling essential oil. For me as an Italian, I love oregano. Takes me back to my nonna and all the oregano we dried, putting it on fresh tomatoes and, you know, new baked bread and olive oil sprinkled over the top. And I show them how it triggers memories, because I've already said that they take us down memory lane, yeah? So, you know, you teach with stories as well. It's really beautiful and it anchors it. And I remind them that they're really hot oils. Make sure that you use a carrier oil with your oregano and On Guard. So you're teaching them the whole way. You all know this, so I don't need to go into that. Right? But what I'm doing is I'm showing them bit by bit by bit, and I'm not giving them everything I know about every essential oil. That's one thing I'm going to repeat. They don't need to know everything you know. They'll get the books, they can Google it, all of that stuff. Yeah? So then, by the time it comes to the end, so you've gone through this, I do love doing this section here. So number 6, who does that? What are your top 3 health challenges and needs for your family? It's actually really nice to do. So you can just direct them saying at the bottom of that front page that we've given you all, I'd just like you to list 3 of your top health concerns or challenges. And I know we always think about our partners and our children, and you can do that. But I'm going to encourage you tonight to put something down there for you. And give them some time. Just go quiet then. Let them write it down. And if it's a small group, you can ask each of them to share 1, not all 3. Just share 1. And if it's a larger group, maybe just get 1 person or 2 people, depending how quick that one went, to share. So can you see how on the back there, then that takes you through, all of the oils are there for them. So you just choose a few oils that you want to talk about. And again, that can relate to the oils that they've shared here. Follows sequentially. Okay, so did you need to say anything then? At the end of the workshop, okay, you've come to the end. Now this is where you want to remember your posture and your intention. What is your intention at every workshop? Okay, enrollment's all right. Okay, getting the oils in every home in the world, right? What else? They're like so tired now. See, the truth comes out. We just want the enrollments. We just want our Rose and Jasmine, damn it. Okay, so when you get to the end of the workshop, this isn't where you go like a little wallflower. And so if you want to, you can have a wholesale account and you can enroll. And okay, thanks everyone for having me. No matter how much you inspired them, if you've got that energy going on behind you, they're going to just giggle like you did and be like, okay, I'm going to eat the food and off we go. Or you can do this. So this is the fun part. I love this. Each of you get to go home with your own wholesale account tonight. And that means you get 25% off everything that doTERRA have to offer. There's 2 simple ways to do this. doTERRA make it super easy. $35 will open your own wholesale account and you can choose the oils or products that you love and you're done. Or the most intelligent way to open your wholesale account, and the way that we did it, was you choose a kit. Just pretend it's the right kit here. It's doing my head in, it's not the updated one. Who's got an updated one? So, or you can choose a kit. This is the one my husband and I started on, the Home Essentials kit. There are 2 kits here you can see, the Essential Collection and Home Essentials kit. The difference with them is simply this. The Essential Collection kit has 5 ml bottles of essential oils, and the Home Essential kit has 15 ml bottles. So for roughly $150 more, you have 3 times the volume of oils plus a diffuser with the Home Essentials kit. And the Essential Collection kit, you receive the Slim and Sassy. So this is where my hubby and I started, because that was what was affordable and I wanted the big ones, baby. And then what's really fabulous is you just add a fractionated coconut oil to that. And for those of you that really love the balance that we passed around, you can add that on as well. And then for those of you that loved a lot of the oils and you know you're going to be using them and you're inspired, because a lot of the time at the end of a workshop, they're like, I want everything, I want to do everything, so you can preempt some things. You can order monthly. And you can slowly build up your collection, which is what we did. And I love freebies. And the best thing is when you order a certain amount each month, everything's in points in doTERRA. It's only 125 points worth. You get a free product every month. Some sort of yummy essential oil or whatever they've got going that month. And on top of that, it generates this little nest egg of credit that you can dip into any time for more free stuff. Who likes freebies here? Fabulous. Me too. So that's your monthly ordering. This here is what you need to start filling out. Pick up your pens and start filling out the yellowed outlines here. We can come around and help you with your kit selection and the essential oils that resonated with you. Remember your birth date, verification code, and expiry. Now, just because I can, the first person who fills out their application form with a kit and brings it up to me is going to get a free lemongrass tonight. Go! And they do! You get a free product every month, right? You can use that for that. It's cheeky, it's fun, and they love it. And I can tell you right now, humans love to be directed. And everyone has their pens out and they start filling it out. To the point where I think it was a week or 2 ago, someone was filling it out and she's like, so am I supposed to be filling this out? I've got my own wholesale account. It was so adorable. I loved it. Right? So you can play and you don't need to have really expensive gifts and incentives. You can just have those gorgeous wild orange oils and let them know that they're going to have a wild orange oil. And what I say to that, what I speak to that is, you know what? Wild orange is so fabulous and it's not in any of your kits, but I believe everyone should have a wild orange oil, so you're all going to receive a bottle of wild orange to go home with tonight. Yeah, and I say to them authentically, to be honest with you, these 2 kits here, and it's in this one here as well, okay, don't forget. So you're not ignoring these kits. It's just too much to be going, and this, and this, and this, and this. When you sit with them one-on-one, you can go into, you know, this kit if they're leading toward the daily usage kit or the aroma touch kit, right? You're not excluding them or even the oil sharing kit. You're just at the end of the class bringing their attention to 2, and I authentically tell them, to be honest with you, everything you need to get started is in these kits. And it's true. And I'll say it's in the Home Essentials kit, everything you need. Anything extra that you really loved from tonight, we can add to your first monthly order. And month by month, you can slowly build up your selection and end up with a gorgeous box like this. So you can just open up that box and have this amazing selection as your go-to. Great. So what I said was that everyone who opens a wholesale account tonight with a kit is going to receive a free bottle of wild orange, or I say a gift. A wild orange is a gift from me because I believe everyone should have a wild orange. I'm sorry if I'm not being clear. I think I'm a bit tired too, so it's not really the best way that I'm giving you right now, but I often do it just before the end. So there'll come a point or I'll feel a lull or I'll feel the energy shift. I'm like, let's do a draw, Charlene. It's time to do the draw. And she'll just run and get it. And we're like, woohoo! And here we go. Bonanza. And you know, I will speak to that as well, actually. With the draw, you can have a beautiful roller bottle that you've made up, a spritzer bottle. What works really well as well is taking an empty spritzer bottle and you demonstrate for them there and then how to make a spritzer. Yep, so again, coming back to that page here of those 3 challenges, someone may have said, I'd really love to learn how to clean with this. So you could make a bottle of lemon and eucalyptus. So eucalyptus is one that's not already in there, right? Not in the Home Essentials kit. And then the draw, whoever wins the draw wins that beautiful bottle. So you've shown them how to do it, and then you've given it away to someone and you've introduced a new oil that's not in the Home Essentials kit in like 30 or 45 seconds. So it's really, really powerful. And when it's a small, intimate group, you can go through LRP with them, and this works. We had this idea of having available to them like you know, a list of everything available to help them with the PVs, to help them be able to know how to order and what to do. And I tend to go into this detail with follow-ups. So John and Noel actually, Noel Blanchard came up with it for me on this Excel and blah, 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 and it was great. He's awesome, right? He just does everything perfectly when it comes to a computer. And then Michelle Ragg took it and she decided to make it pretty. She knows I love everything pretty, and she's like, look what I did, Ness. And I love it. It's this pretty little doTERRA Loyalty Rewards Program booklet. So when you do your follow-up classes, remember the classes we said to do? It has it all written down there, how to get them for free, what the program is, and then their oils wish list. So during the follow-up class, they can have this there, and you can make up your own version any way you want. You literally just are putting in the Australian products with the PV, and if you want to put the American products as well, then you can do that, and it just doesn't have the AU in front of it, is how Michelle did it. And then she's got Roman Chamomile, not currently available. So when you're in a group doing a nice little follow-up, it's really easy to explain that. Otherwise, it's like where you guys are all at right now, information overload, you can't take anything else in. That's actually why we left the class to the last, to be honest, because I wanted you out of your heads, out of your left brain. Your subconscious is taking this in, and your creative side is taking this, the way I'm doing this class, in, right? So when you step into it, you'll give it your own flair, and it will be all you. But you'll remember that you can just, you know, throw in cheeky little things. And then at the end, I love it. She's got the cost effectiveness of essential oils, which I never thought to do, and she's got the cost of the oil per drop. And a notes section for them. And especially with us, you know, we talk about blends a lot. Every single class I do, I'm always showing them how to make blends, make the most of their oils, and they can be writing it there. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, did you want to say anything before we finish?
Just natural conclusion stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so Paul, just bear with us for a few minutes more. Paul's just going to break this down and give you a natural conclusion that you can use yourself, like we did with our friend that's doing doTERRA. And he's put it into something that might be using language that more people are familiar with, but also more comfortable with.
So the natural conclusion that Vanessa gave there, it's a fair bit to remember, because she talks about the product credits and monthly rewards and all those kind of things, which you want to be able to evolve and grow into doing it that way. But the one I initially gave to our friend just for her to get started many months ago is just these 2 bits here. Okay, so at the end of it, remember we talked about the 3 doors of openness, right? So door number 1 was, are you open to learning more about how to take care of your family's health naturally? Door number 2 is when you've finished the class, you've taught them, you've fulfilled your promise, and now you say, are you open to using the product? Or are you open to using the oils? And that's the next door, to walk them through. Are you open? They're not going to sit there and say they're closed. Anyone who is closed will just say quiet. So they won't ruin it for you by saying, you know, no, I'm not really interested. If you say, are you interested? Would you be interested? So then, I'm in struggle street now. It's tough, right? So I've got to control how the conversation goes at the ends to a certain degree, and keep it positive. So that's why we've got it here. So let me ask you, now that you've experienced these essential oils and learned more about their power as well as their safety, would you be open to using them? someone will always say yes after you've had a group in there, they're smelling the oils, have had their experience, someone will say, yes, I would be. Great. And then usually, to be honest, that's what we normally hear. Okay? So, as I said, by the end of the night, you're going to be able to leave with your own wholesale account to access your oils. So if you flip over to the back page, find the yellow sections here and start jotting in details in there, and you can go home with your own kit. So it's as simple as that, 2 sentences, okay? But it's directing the traffic at the end of the night, okay? Rather than, as Vanessa says, just backing off it and letting it sort of dwindle away to nothing. As you become more experienced, you'll get the full version of the natural conclusion that's in the rest that's in your notebooks here, and that's when you can start introducing things like monthly rewards and stuff like that into your natural conclusion. Okay.
Guess what I forgot? But I think you've all seen it. I do aromatic dressing before I do that.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah. So that's where I say here. So you can simply choose the kit that resonates with you and add a fractionated coconut oil to that, because I've shown them aromatic dressing. And so I say that just before I go into that natural conclusion and pointing out to them the kits and everything. Yeah? Sorry, I forgot to do that. Thanks, Nikki.
Getting tired. So, just before we finish up, I know it's been a long day, everyone's getting to that stage. So, tips for enrolments on the day. If you're inviting, like we've spoken about today, and you've got decent numbers of people coming to your events, a few things you need to remember to get the best result out of your day. So you want team members on hand to help you out. We recommend an average of a minimum of 1 for every 5 attendees at your class. Okay, so if you've got 10 people there, yourself and at least 1 other person to help you at the end, because how do you get around and speak to 8 or 10 people and actually be able to serve them well and help them with their kits and set up their LRP, all those things? You just can't, can you? Has anyone found that, oh look, it just got to the end and it got so crazy and I was trying to talk to everybody and I couldn't do it? Has anyone had that? Yeah, okay. So to avoid that, be prepared for it, okay? Like anything you do, the more you see it, hear it and do it in as short amount of time as possible, the more proficient you're going to become, okay? So get out there and start doing your classes and actually, practice and do it and do it and do it. I talked earlier about the first class you do is still the best class that they're ever going to see. I was talking to Maddie in the break, and Maddie said, I taught my first class this week. Last week? What was it? Yeah, just recently anyway?
A couple of months ago.
Wait, sorry, you're telling me about your first class, sorry. And how many were there?
There were 4.
4 people. How many people enrolled?
All 3.
All 3, that's right. So, but you were fretting for quite a while about teaching your first class and quite stressed about it. And in the end, like most things in life, it's the anticipation of what we're worried about that's usually worse than the event. So you've got to get out there and just do it, all right? Got the ratio to support there, and finish off on last thing, what if they don't enrol on the night? Any advice, Emma?
Follow up.
2 words. Exactly, follow up. It's all in your notes here, but you need to make a time before they leave. Permission-based marketing. Remember, ask them, would it be okay if I gave you a call in a couple of days to just get some feedback from you about how the class went, what you enjoyed, etc.? Would that be okay? Great. All right, I want to give you a call and tell you, Wednesday? Beautiful. We'll speak then. Thanks. Have a great night. And you can follow them up, okay? So follow through these notes, but follow up is the critical thing that most people don't do, all right? So we need to get that in your psyche.